Okay, we have a few things to talk about this week. I've been kind of fighting the need to be on here, but I really feel like there's some excellent, excellent. I really feel like there's some messages that I need to deliver. Um, and I really want to start with my black women. We have been being used, okay? We've been being used as an emotional container for a lot of our friends, for our business associates, for clients. Um, and some of it's unconscious, but some of it's very much conscious. And this is because if you really look back into like chattel slavery and what it was about us being the filler for emotional, mental, and spiritual fatigue that our oppressor was dealing with. So basically, they were sinning, right? And then using your perfection as a cover for the mental illness that they were going through. And this is kind of what is happening now, except we've been given the illusion that we are free. However, we are still in bondage to our oppressor. And this is happening, through this divine intelligence that has always been using us as an experiment in order to see how far we can be pushed, in order to see how far they can take it before we have this psychotic break, before we get so upset, before we get so emotionally infused that we have to dissolve. Okay, like this is what it's actually doing to us. It wants us to be sick, because if we're sick, that minimizes, that densifies the planet, that creates more of a hell on earth, because we are not fulfilled, because we are not embodied, because we are not free. And this is why our emotions are what carry this planet forward. And this is what the oppressor loves. This is what they like. They genuinely like you to be worried. They genuinely want you to be sad. They genuinely want you to continue to carry them through this emotional space, because if you do, they don't have to deal with it. And this is why you cannot just allow so much of your oppressor into your space. You cannot share your sorrows, your stresses with them, because they will never truly hold it. They will never truly be able to contain it, because they still have not dealt with their own mental infringement. They have not dealt with their own mental illness, yet they still want you to be a container for it. This is this is the paradigm shift right here. And this is why 2020 was it was an ignition. It was an igniter, because what it did was it gave you the illusion that you were just enough free to continue to allow them to funnel in more pain. Because they want you to give them all of you, so they don't have to actually do the work, because that would mean everything would break down. But we are the system. We are riding the bike underneath the ground right now, as they continue to funnel and use that energy for their own good. I really highly recommend you watch the movie Us by Jordan Peele. I think that that's a really good one. The Other Girl on Hulu is another great one. But this is what it's about. It's about seeing how far we can make you shift, make you become more like us. So you will abandon your truth. So you will abandon your God-given power. So you will abandon your right to own land, to own energy, to to release the container into something that could ultimately change the world. You can't do that if you're oppressed. You can't do that if you're tired. You can't do that if you're stuck. But that's what they want. They want you to be stuck. And so they'll send you they'll send you, and this is now spiritual, they'll send you people to make you think that you are free. They'll send you people to unburden you with the load. But the truth is, these people are all distractions from you breaking free. And this is why they're called familiars. This is why they get you to trust them so easily, because they want to give you the illusion that you are free. But you're not. You're not until you get with someone who looks exactly like you and you guys come together without the need to perform, without the need to break the rules of love, of natural law. You need to come together with your people, other Black women, because when we are together, we are a force of nature, because we understand and know the power of unconditional love. But there is an indoctrination that has happened that has funneled a belief that love does not exist here anymore. So we've lost passion. We've lost the ability to be vulnerable because we've been tied to the belief that we can only be as brilliant as the oppressor, when they're not brilliant. They make you think they are. But all of it was stolen. But all of it was used, but all of it was a lie to get you entrapped, to get you psychologically entrapped with the burden of their own suffering. And now you suffer for their repercussions. You're suffering off of the backs of what they've done, and all you've done is work for them. People ask me, why don't you want to work? It's not that I don't want to work. I don't want to work for my oppressor under the guise that they're trying to help me. That's performative. We can't keep living performatively and thinking like we're not going to pay a consequence. The consequence is your energy. And you're going to wake up every day tired, and you're going to lose time with your family, and you're going to lose time here on this earth to really live, because you're consistently thinking that you have to give something up in order to gain. And that's the lie that you've been sold. That's the lie that you've been sold. You've been sold a lie. You've been sold the shadow version of your truth. And they're just working off of the energy of that. Truth is, you shouldn't be worried about a goddamn thing right now. You shouldn't be fucking tired right now. All you should be doing is praising God. You shouldn't even be at work right now, because it's still slavery. And I want them to admit that first before you do a goddamn thing. Because it's not about money. It's about freedom. It's about the pursuit of freedom. And if all of these people are claiming that you have to work hard in order to have and achieve, those are not the right people, and those are in enslavements. That's an entrapment. And your soul knows this. Your soul fucking knows this. Stop fighting your soul. You need to align with your truth right now. And your truth is that you're fucking tired, you're burnt out, you're ready to either end your fucking life or be homeless. Like, it's just like, that's not, babes. And you know what would solve that? Combining with other people who are on the same plane with you, who get it, who are ready for change. Change doesn't happen when we continue to comply. And God was literally telling me this on my walk. I was like, it is all your fault, because you just allow it. You've allowed this to happen for months, for years, for centuries. You've allowed them to continue to take from you, and you've just complied because it's easier than going through the paperwork. It's easier than calling that company back and saying that these fees are not feasible. Okay, it's easier to just let shit happen than it is to fight for something. And that is why we're in the predicament that we're in. And that is why we're all facing these consequences right